So, welcome back, everybody. Super excited about my next guest, Anders Gustavson. He's a visionary founder of Heartland Collective. I met this dear brother probably about 3 years, 4 years ago now. And we've been collaborating and weaving together. He's a genius in his area, and what he's going to be talking about today is life by design. And of course, we're in day two. We're talking about really activating and optimizing the mind, body, spirit aspects of the self, and really cultivating that disciplined practice. And this idea of creating a life or the art of living well, and what that actually looks like. So, Anders, thank you so much for joining us, and I can't wait for you to share, as I know you've been stewarding Heartland for the last number of years, and just you're doing it, So, super excited to have you on, and just for you to share how people can really move into this idea, this paradigm of creating their own life and living it by their own design.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me again. It's a blast chatting with you, and thanks for your friendship and all that, what you do, the breath work I've learned through your channel has been some of the most powerful breath work that I've ever experienced. And I'm really happy about this opportunity for you, and this opportunity for me, and this opportunity for all of these folks that are joining us today. Because I think that hearing these stories is going to be just a beautiful journey, a beautiful opportunity for people to truly dive in to these different stages. And life by design is a journey. It is an amazing, amazing, amazing journey. And I rolled into it. I rolled myself into it. I picked myself off the ground to after lots and lots of failures, and just really had to explore and really had to think, deeply about why I was doing what I was doing, and what it was that I wanted to be doing, and how, I could best get there, and then how to ensure that just by getting there, I'm going to be also in service to, so many other people through, being at this frequency. I think that flow state and flow state has a lot to do with purpose for me. And I have this, I have this curiosity of, and this game that I'm playing, which I think a lot of other people are playing as well. And it questions, well, what are you here for? What am I here for? What is it that we want to do? And I think that it can be found, when we enter into these states of flow. And what I find really fun is being with other people when they are in the state of flow. And what is it that we can create when we are all in a state of flow together? And so life by design for me has been about exploring, how can I create a lifestyle that offers the opportunity for people to be in flow? Because like I mentioned before, my life purpose is activating life purpose in other people, helping people explore and activate life purpose within themselves. And so, so creating a life by design really comes back to your own personal values, and really exploring, what those personal values are. And once again, I mentioned, my personal values, are connection, fun, play, creativity, joy, experience, and harmony, and then exploring the different areas of life, family, work, relationships, health, leisure activities, and and I think a life by design can be a really fun, creative process, for people to start writing about and start exploring for themselves. And to me, this definitely doesn't happen overnight. It is definitely not something, unless you have a huge amount of money and you can just, use all of that money in the most creative, artistic way and just paint your life exactly like how you want it. You know, that's great. That I didn't have that. And I started off 10 years ago when I realized this vision of what I wanted to do, which was, you know, to create this place of fun, of creativity, of imagination, and of a place where people could gather and come together and learn together, and, you know, retreat, you know, have personal retreats so they can explore their own life purpose, you know. And so part of my design, once again, because my purpose in life was to activate life purpose in others, part of my design of doing that was then to leverage land to support me in that purpose, because it's not for me. I didn't want to be a coach. I didn't want to be a coach that talked to individuals all day long. That wasn't like my design, but I wanted to help people in that way. And so I then, you know, at 5 years old, for example, just like going way back, I got caught with a hammer on an airplane, which I wasn't allowed to bring when I flew over to America for the first time. And so I was always building stuff. I was always creating things. And so my life by design was creating a place that I could leverage to support me in this purpose that I have. And so I kind of went, so the purpose is the top level. And then, you know, I explored family, you know, well, how would my life be designed in order to support my family or the family that I want to have? And that's going to be different for everybody. And then the work, you know, the work is a big deal. And how far do you want to go to work? You know, how much of your life do you want to spend in your car versus actually doing the work? And what is the work? You know, what is fulfilling to you? Which comes back into the whole purpose. Relationships, you know, how much time do you want to spend with your friends, and how far away from your friends do you want to be? Do you want to live with your friends? How many friends do you want to live with? Do you not want to live with your friends? You know, there's so many different questions to ask yourself, you know. There, health, you know, like how much do you value your health? You know, how do you need to be close to a gym, or can you have a gym? Do you have enough, you know, motivation to work out? You know, or for me, I don't like going to gyms. You know, like for me, I know that I don't have the best discipline in working out as much as I want to. So knowing that, you know, like I designed in building and designed in creating and designed in that my schedule includes swinging a hammer. You know, my schedule includes like hauling wood. My schedule includes like painting and staining and, you know, building and doing this for a small part of the day. So that then I could do another thing, which, you know, we talk a lot about in permaculture, which is stacking functions. And function stacking means that, you know, when you can do one thing, and then that delivers positive results on various different levels, that's very, very good. So, for example, for me, like I said, I didn't like to go to the gym, but I love to build. And when I build, I get to create new things for my land, which gets to also inspire other people that are there, which gets to offer a teaching and educational opportunity for me to the volunteers that we have working there. And it gets to, you know, last for a really long time. And it gets to help, you know, the retreat make more money, because the more, you know, buildings we create, the better it is. There's all of these. And once again, I get to work out, right? So all of these function stacking elements are a really big part of lifestyle by design. And leisurely activities, you know, like how much fun do you want to have? You know, how do you want to go on vacations all the time? And if you and do you want to travel all the time? Do you love to travel? Do you not love to travel? You know, just thinking about this. And for me, I really enjoy creating experiences, and I like to be around. I like to have really fun experiences close by me. So once again, creating this retreat center was a really, really great way to have leisurely activities right here, you know. So instead of going to yoga, you know, we have yoga teachers that come to us. You know, instead of going to festivals in different places, we have festivals that are created on our land sometimes when we want them to, and then we get to decide the hours, and we get to decide, you know, so many different things, and we get paid for it. So there's like these different levels of design that goes into all of these things, which are created once again like by design. So that comes back to the leisurely activities that you want to have. And I think another thing I'd love to touch upon is permaculture. For those of you that don't know what permaculture is that permaculture is like permanent culture. And usually people talk about permaculture with regard to growing a garden, or there's also something called social permaculture, where the principles of permaculture are used to help social causes and help communities and help different things like that. And I look at permaculture like, yes, we have a garden, and yes, we love to include permaculture principles in everything that we do. But I love them so much. So I also think about these permaculture principles in business. And I think about these permaculture principles with regard to how I design my life. And so one of the permaculture principles, there's 12. I'm only going to go into a few of them right now. But one of the permaculture principles, the first one is observe and interact. And so with regard to that, when we first bought our land, we didn't start building right away. We just really, like experienced land, and we really like started thinking and walking it, and we didn't, start developing or anything right away. And even the things that we started developing, we actually created them temporarily, or we created them on wheels, or we created them, different ways so they could be moved around, because it really takes a while. It takes a while for you to walk around a piece of property, or maybe that is like your storefront, or maybe that is whatever environment it is that you're creating. I'd highly recommend not to start building something right away. Don't get in there right away. Just really spend a good amount of time observing. Where are the people coming from? Where are they walking? Where are they walking by the window? Where does it make the most sense for the natural flow to feel harmonious? And then another principle I think a lot about is applying self-regulation and accepting feedback. You see, in your life and in your vision and in your business, it's vital that it is harmonious to everybody, and if you want to build such a way where a lot of people appreciate, it also has to be enjoyable, by everybody. So that comes into the business structure that you choose, and that comes into how you're managing your staff and how you're managing your employees, and how much feedback you're really like accepting from the people that are there, and self-regulating yourself, because it's being when you're a visionary, it's really easy to just really run forward as fast as you can, but taking a step back and just applying some self-regulation and really accepting feedback from everybody and encouraging feedback from your team is going to be really, really helpful. And all of this stuff, like all the things that I'm talking about, should really always be tracked back to your personal values and to the things that you really want to do within your purpose, family, work, relationships, health, and leisurely activities. And then another principle I think a lot about is designing from patterns to details. And so by that, I mean, you look at the patterns of nature. You look at what the patterns of nature are doing, and you take notes. For example, I love ants. I love ants so much, and I love bees so much, because the way that they work together is super fascinating and really, really inspiring. The strength, like that the ants have, the way that they work together, and looking at these systems of nature and the way that these insects and animals and like how they exist can truly teach us so much, about what it is that we're doing. And I don't know exactly how that would apply to various other businesses out there, and I'm positive that you can make these metaphors work, for all of these businesses. And this all comes back to the jungle, right? This comes back, if you want to create a thriving environment, if you want to create a business that is great for all and truly beneficial for all the different organisms, all the different people, all the different, like animals that come through, and everything in your business, the plants that you're growing in your store and all of these things, if you make that environment truly, truly spectacular, it's going to want to be fed. It's going to want to be fed through people coming in there, through people sharing about the experience, to people sharing about how that feels to come into your place of business. So looking at those nature patterns, and then from there, just starting to work on it. Next thing, which I mentioned before, but I want to touch upon it again because I love it so much. This is the concept of function stacking. And function stacking is so fun because it takes no more work from you, but the benefits are exponential. And so let's see if I can give you one example of function stacking. So for me, for example, with regard to leisurely activities, like what I love to go to concerts, right? And I love great concerts, and sometimes, great concerts are not accessible for various different reasons. And so, so what I've created, here now offers this opportunity for concerts to come here. They come here and they provide various different opportunities that stack so many different functions. So for example, we have a big volunteer program, and we've had people that come into Heartland Collective from all over the world. We've had over 450 volunteers that have come in here through the last 5 or 6 years. And from time to time, we have concerts and we have different events that happen. And so when those events happen, it creates this really, really beautiful effect for the volunteers and the team that are currently on site, because it's fun, right? It's a lot of fun. And so leading up to that event, everybody's really excited and everybody is working really, really hard to complete the next project, to complete the next stage, or complete the next environment for everybody else to enjoy. And so, and then on top of that, the retreat is able to now profit financially for bringing in these different events. And then other function, of course, is that I get to have this concert, that I want to do. So instead of going outside to have this concert, to pay for this concert, this system that I've designed and created can now bring a concert in and also apply all of these other benefits, which is a great example of function stacking. And let's see. I think another beautiful example of function stacking, which I think anybody can jump into, is adding more beauty and adding more art. If you add more beauty and art to your place of business, it will, it just raises the energy of the place. It raises the vibe. It brings in more creativity, and with the art and with the creativity that gets, I think, added to the frequency and added to the space, people are going to feel more open and more excited and more inspired to contribute and to be creative with everybody else. And the results of those things, I think, are exponentially good. So, I'll leave it at that. And I'm, just excited to cover anything else or answer any of the questions you got, Lee.
Yeah, that's amazing, brother. And two things. I mean, there's so much wisdom in all of that. Two things I would really want to kind of point out to our viewers is the setting yourself up for success. Really being able to ask yourself the questions and ponder each of the areas of life, so that you are, bringing more balance and more wholeness to everything that you're doing. Whereas, I think traditionally this idea of peak performance, we've been kind of programmed that, I'm gonna sacrifice, everything else. I'm gonna sacrifice my health, my relationships, everything to maybe make money, and I'm gonna chase that. You mentioned earlier about kind of chasing this carrot dangling in front of you. And I think so many of us get kind of pre-programmed into chasing that carrot, you know. So, but how do you bring more balance and more focus to the other areas of your life? Well, you separate them and you ponder each one and you ask yourself the questions. So, you know, I really love that super simple concept. And then, you know, this idea of stacking, you know, and I didn't really know it was called that, but that's something I do in my life. Like, you know, if I'm getting groceries, I'll do breath work. You know, it's like, why just do one thing when you can, you know, or like combining breath work and meditation and you know, and tonal activations. It's like, you know, if you can exponentially increase your like the impact that something is making, or that you know you're having on your health or whatever it is that you're doing by stacking things, um, and I think you can really create more efficiency and effectiveness as well. So I love both of those things. Um, I do want to ask you though. I want to ask you about peak performance. I want to ask you, what does peak performance mean to you?
Yeah. I think peak performance to me is really being true to yourself in every single moment, you know, that you're in. I think that in my opinion, peak performance can be just as intimidating as what is your life purpose. You know, like these are concepts that I think are going to be different for different people for a million different reasons. So to me, peak performance is what is truly doing, what is the best that I can do right now, and how am I showing up right now, and just really accepting, you know, where I'm at, and loving where I'm at, and trusting that tomorrow might be a better day, or you know, you might have learned a new peak of your own peak performance, and that's amazing. And both are definitely good, and just really being authentic, you know, with regard to where you are, and blessed that we're here to live another day, create again.
Mm, mm. I love that. I love. I was watching a video this morning, and it was talking about, um, you know, Earth School. Like we're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to heal. We're here to evolve. Um, is there anything you want to share on, you know, kind of to that end, or anything else that is really, you know, that you kind of want to leave our viewers with?
Yeah, totally. Well, I would like to throw out an invitation. Uh, an invitation for anybody to check out Heartland Collective, check out what it is that we're doing. We would love to have you out here if you're exploring life purpose, or want to explore life purpose, or just want to have an adventure or anything like that. We're here, heartlandcollective.org, and come check us out. We're actually starting this radical new membership program where our land is going to be co-owned by hundreds of people, fractional ownership, tokenomics, and lots of cool stuff. So yeah, I would love to just connect with anybody interested in the mission and learning more about life purpose.
I love that. And how else, is there any other way that people can connect with you or get a hold of you, or learn about what's going on at Heartland?
Yeah, Instagram is a great way. It's at the Heartland Collective. And we also have a Facebook page, Heartland Collective, and our website, heartlandcollective.org.
So beautiful, brother. Any final words of wisdom for our viewers about life by design?
Just go for it. You know, just go, just fail. It's okay. It's totally okay. And just like enjoy the ride until you're dead.
I love it, brother. Always an element of playfulness, and so much wisdom and you know, genius and everything that you shared today. So thank you so much for taking your time and energy and being here, and you know, just sharing what you're up to in the world. It's I'm super grateful to have you here, and to have you as a brother and friend and business partner, and all the things that we're doing together. It's such an honor for me, bro. So thank you so much.
Damn. Excited about the future. Talk to you soon.